Justin Timberlake announcing he's suffering from Lyme disease. The 44-year-old opening up on Instagram about the toll the disease has taken, writing, "I've been battling some health issues and was diagnosed with Lyme disease, which I don't say so you feel bad for me, but to shed some light on what I've been up against behind the scenes."
I got this inside my bones. It goes electric and then I turn it on. Say what?
The news coming on the heels of these viral videos showing the last stretch of his Tomorrow World Tour.
'Cause what I got,
The star looking sluggish, having the audience sing most of his vocals. Fans at the time posting to social media, wondering what was going on.
He's literally laying down the mic and just dancing on stage.
A singer who was paid by customers to sing, and he did not sing.
Timberlake says he was shocked to receive the diagnosis, but that it gave him relief to understand why he was feeling nerve pain and crazy fatigue.
everybody in Brazil, sing.
Justin posting, "If you have experienced this disease or know someone who has, then you are aware. Living with this can be relentlessly debilitating, both mentally and physically." His former NSYNC bandmates sharing their support. Chris Kirkpatrick writing, "I've always known my little bro was tough, but this tour showed me a whole new level of strength." And Lance Bass writing, "Proud of you, brother. Wishing you some well-deserved rest and so much love."
Yeah, we are too. And Justin says he's glad he kept going with the tour because it proved his mental tenacity to himself, and he enjoyed being with all of his fans. He did end his message saying he'd like to do his part to help others experiencing this disease. And I think he has, just by
No question about
sharing.
it. Yeah. Let's bring in our chief medical correspondent, Dr. Turner Rule, with more on this. This hits home for me. My daughter Elliot is one of the 500,000 people diagnosed every year, right? And it really is debilitating. Tell everybody about the condition.
Yeah, so this is the most common tick-borne illness in the United States. It's a bacterial infection. We see it commonly in the Northeast, Wisconsin, and Minnesota, and you heard so many cases per year in this country. And a lot of people end up going undiagnosed because they can have a constellation of all different kinds of symptoms that can really be missed for months or even years until it's picked up. And there is a blood test that can check for it, but again, if you have the blood test done early on in the infection, those first few weeks, it may come back negative. So you definitely would want to repeat it and have an index of suspicion if you're having some of these different symptoms we're going to talk about, to bring it up with your doctor and say, "Can you check me for Lyme disease?"
Right, we heard those there. Nerve pain, lots of fatigue. What are the other symptoms?
Yeah, so basically there's 3 stages of Lyme disease. The first stage, you have some of those constitutional symptoms: fatigue, muscle aches, joint pains, headaches, some enlarged lymph nodes, and then the characteristic hallmark rash. We call it a bullseye or target rash, and essentially it has red around the center, a red dot in the middle, and then clearing around it. So it looks like a bullseye. It can develop anywhere on the body. It can be up to 12 inches large, and it's not painful, but it can be warm. So you usually see that within the first few weeks of getting the tick bite. And then the second stage is where you start to see some of those other systems involved. So you may have inflammation of the heart muscle, heart block or electrical problems with the heart, neurologic changes, neuropathies, even meningitis. And then you can have skin changes, eye changes like conjunctivitis, retinitis, and some of these migrating joint pains. So you have joint pain in one area and then in another area, and that usually happens weeks to months. And then the late stage, which is months to years, is where you develop those arthritis, usually in the big joints. So think the knee. And that should trigger someone to say, again, let me get tested for Lyme, or your doctor might bring it up with you.
Once you're tested, what are the treatment options?
So it's usually treated with antibiotics, and the recovery is good. If you catch it particularly early on, you can treat it with oral antibiotics, about a 10 to 14-day course. If you catch it late, you may need IV antibiotics. Most people recover very nicely. Again, if it is late stage, you might have some long-term effects if there was neurologic damage or joint damage.
Let's talk about prevention.
Yeah, so this is the main thing to think about. So if you live in one of these endemic areas, you want to think about, unfortunately in the summer when it's hot, wearing long sleeves or long pants, using permethrin treated clothing, putting on the EPA type repellents, staying away from those tall, high grasses and brushes. If you're hiking, stay in the center of the trail. If you find the tick, you want to remove it. So the tick will not transmit the infection to you unless it's been on you for about 24 hours. So you have time to get it off. And basically the ticks can be really small, like the size of a poppy seed. So you have to really look and do tick checks after you come in. If you find it, use a tweezer to really pull it out. You don't want to crush the body because that can actually spread the infection. And then you may get prophylactic antibiotics. If you speak to your doctor, they may prescribe a 1-dose pill of antibiotics.
Yeah, and you have to do those tick checks on your pets as well.
You got to do them. I had a patient tell me she had one in her ear, actually. So they really can crawl in different areas. You got to look.
Thank you.
My sister had one in her ear as a baby.
Oh.
And I remember my parents, I still remember them pulling it out with tweezers.
Yeah.
I hope Elliot feels better soon.
Thank you. Me too.
Thanks, Doc.